Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago with television. We're just about 7:42 a.m. So if you get into work for 8 o'clock, remember to drive safely on our nation's roads to get there. The key operative is to ensure your safety and the safety of other road users. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we continue conversations this morning in studio. And for the first time, as inspector in our studio this morning, we speak with Inspector Sherla Prince of the T.T.P.S. Good morning, Inspector, and welcome.
Good morning, Adanna, and welcome this morning, and good morning to all the viewers and loyal listeners.
And of course, many congratulations to you on your promotion as inspector. And we really appreciate all that you are doing. And we want to say hearty, hearty congratulations to you from all of us here at Tobago Meets Television.
Thank you very much. I'm humbled.
Right. And of course, we're going to head straight on into the conversations because, it's hot right now in Tobago. And we've been recording murder after murder. We've been recording incident after incident, and the weekend was a busy weekend, right? We saw there was a stabbing incident taking place there in the Golden Inn area, and then again that area in Scarborough, which the public has now deemed a hot spot. I don't know if the police is calling it a hot spot, but the general public on the island of Tobago is calling it a hot spot there because of the amount of shooting incidents taking place in that area, and of course, causing the loss of life to one over the weekend there. And so, people want to know what is happening where that is concerned, and has the police tagged it a hotspot, and what is happening? What is it? I mean, I know you can't give us all of your strategies, but what is happening in that area? People are talking about police presence in that area, not being able to see a heavy, I don't know if they want to see police there 24/7 or whatever, but some type of presence that will assist with, scaring, for lack of a better term, the criminals away, or removing the idea of any criminal activity from potential criminal operations there.
Okay, so Adanna, I just want to extend condolences to the Sylvester family. And yes, that area seems to be a hotspot for us. We have been working there. The police have been doing it. As Mr. Sylvester has just recently been discharged from the hospital suffering a gunshot wound. And we have reached out from T.T.P.S, did our duty of care, and we had our conversation with him. However, he returned and he is now deceased. The homicide officers are working around the clock, interviewing persons, recording statements, delivering the perpetrator before the court.
So, is there any suspects in this particular matter, and has anybody been apprehended? Do you have any leads in terms of what is the position now with this? And not just this. I think the more pressing question is, how do we turn this area from a hotspot? Because, I mean, generally, you don't want to be walking through Scarborough and fall victim to a situation, as I mentioned earlier on the show this morning, that I received calls from persons who are close to me, who were literally on the spot when this thing happened, and they could have been caught in gunfire. And so it's really, really scary and alarming. One, where are these weapons coming from? They have to be, we don't manufacture weapons on the island, so we know they're coming in, right? And so we're talking now about protecting borders. We're talking about all the agencies coming together to ensure, with integrity, to ensure that, we ensure that these things don't come into our country, don't come into our island, and they're not accessible. Because when you look at Mr. Kirk, when he came last week, we're talking about the high-powered machinery that these people are using, and so we have to find ways to rid them of this, and of course, to encourage our communities to cooperate in terms of seeing something and saying something. However, people do still feel as if I say something, I might, even though the that privacy is there and that confidentiality is there in terms of the hotlines that you can call, people still feel, because of what is happening, that they can be targeted. We really need to do something about the hotspots in town. We really need to do something about it.
Okay, so Adanna, so let me first address you asked about any suspects. Well, I don't have that information. As I said earlier, that the homicide is working assiduously in recording statements, and they are going to go from there. We have been trying. We have been hitting that area on numerous occasions. The Scarborough station have been performing static within that First Citizen car park area and also the Dutch Fort area. I know some people might feel that, the confidence, they wonder if they have the confidence in the police right now, but we are working and trying our best to rebuild that confidence in everyone and to ensure that the community and the public is safe while going through SCAP.
No, I know the police is not relaxed. I know that you all are working, and as you talk about building the confidence, we've discussed that there's strategies in the back end that you all are working on, other agencies who are coming together to curb this measure of crime. And my thing is to scare the criminals away from criminal activity or any thought of criminal activity. And so, I really want to see that measure of enforcement and that measure of presence. And I know that you can't see a police there. Perhaps you can. I don't know, 24/7. I don't know what can be put in place, at least for this period, to put the mind of the public at ease in terms of knowing that they are guarded, that they are safe, um, in areas across Tobago that we term and deem as hotspots, right? I'm hoping that we can see some type. I know you are sitting in the background and you're planning and you're strategizing and you're implementing, but we want to see the implementation part of it where we can say, yes, I passed there today and I saw 50 police, what we're like on small islands, especially. We want to see something. We want to see something so that we can feel comfortable. So I do hope that while you plan and, you are able to implement things, that you get the support that is necessary to ensure we can curb that measure of crime.
Well, Adanna, we have been working with other agencies. Not just, we have been doing for a while and it has been intense. And I can assure the public that we are not sitting idly by, and we are going to ensure that when you come into Scarborough, that you feel safe to shop or you just feel safe as just walking through. So going forward, you will see police officers in the downtown area going forward from today.
Look forward to seeing them. I know we want to talk about missing persons. In the past couple of weeks and months, you realize that every time you go on social media, you see somebody's missing, somebody's missing, somebody's missing. And I have been sharing this information. You reshare and you repost. And to me, it's almost every time you open your social media page, you see that somebody is missing. What is happening in our spaces? What is happening? Why are people going missing? And what is in terms of the efforts to recover, to find these people? What is that kind of synergy or relationship like in terms of recovering them and dealing with the persons who are responsible for them going missing?
Okay, so first of all, let's start with who's deemed a missing person. A missing person is someone whose whereabouts is unknown and whose disappearance is concerning due to potential harm or distress. And they can include individuals who are lost, who voluntarily has left home, or who have both been taken against their will. And the unit that deals with any form of kidnapping or going missing is the anti-kidnapping unit in Trinidad. However, each station in Tobago, we deal with our own. So every police officer is trained and equipped on how to treat with that. So I just want to additionally say that there is no 24-hour waiting period to file a missing person report. So we ask persons who are coming to the station to see the family, the loved one are being reported missing. So when they come, they give us some biodata of that individual who is missing, the name, the age, date of birth, if they attend school, what form, what they were last seen, where the description of what they were last wearing, the height, everything like that to deal like we make our job a little easier. And having done that, we can issue them with citizen receipts. That information is put in a register, missing persons register, and that same information is extracted and sent to the anti-kidnapping unit and it's been circulated through all the divisions section within the Tobago states.
And how often do you get these types of reports? Because you said something, you said you don't have to wait for 24 hours. I know some people, sometimes they say you have to wait if the person not necessarily missing because they just left home or, so you give it some time. If they don't come back by tonight or tomorrow, then you can file. So now, how often now do you have persons having that information? How often do persons come in to record that somebody from their family, their loved one, somebody they know is missing or, suspected to have either run away or whatever the case might be?
Okay, so I want to go to our last missing person report. A 15-year-old from the Bloody Bay area. Her parents reported her missing on children. That information was sent throughout the Tobago division. But she was found. She was at her grandparents' residence. she's okay. So how we treated it as police officers, we ask the family if when they report someone missing and they have been found or they come back on their own, we want to interview them. We want to have that sit down with them. We want to do a referral either to the community police and then see, what can be done to help, to lend some support to the family member.
And you said that the young person was at another family, a resident of a family, which is the grandparents. And I'm wondering now, is it that we have to encourage now that when the person is recording the missing persons, that they call around to make sure?
Okay.
I don't know what the situation with that particular one was.
So that is what we do. After we get the report, then we go up and we check the last person where they were last seen and the family members. So sometimes when we interview the person making that report, we ask them when last did they go by the grandparents? Do they have, a teenager who's a bestie, a boyfriend, somebody close that, they confide in. So we ask all these questions and then we move on from there.
And in terms of community engagement, in terms of finding lost or missing persons, do you get that kind of support? What is the approach in terms of looking after you collect the biodata from the person who is putting in the report? What is the approach? Is it that you engage the community? How do you get the information you're looking for to identify where this person is?
Okay, so as I said, after we circulate that information to different stations, so the officers at different areas, they go out and they try to prune the areas. All right. So somebody so that young lady last week, that 15-year-old, the family went to Sherla. All right, and we made a report. So Scarborough, we did our own canvassing, Roxwood did their own canvassing. So we come together, we share the information, and then we work from out and we come in. Best way to assist the family.
I know that there is this Searchers, Hunt and Rescue team as well, and another agency separate from the T.T.P.S. At what point, or do you engage other agencies to assist? Or at what point do you bring in other agencies to assist in a person that might have gone missing? I don't know what period you use or what the circumstances or conditions are. You engage an external agency to assist in bringing a person home.
It all depends on the information about the person missing. Somebody missing in the forest area, then we engage the external agencies. But for a child or a normal adult, dementia, they leave home, we will not engage that agency for that additional support.
And how do you, in terms of safeguarding, this is you mentioned earlier about kidnapping as well, right? Something that you're not prepared for because you don't expect to be kidnapped, right? But in terms of safeguarding yourself, because of the world we live in now, we see what is happening, gun violence and all sorts of things happening. How do you, especially for parents talking to their children, safeguarding themselves from a perpetrator eyeing them or stalking them or paying attention to their routines and stuff like that to perpetrate that type of mischief in terms of kidnapping as a child or a young person?
So what we advise, see social media. Don't put your personal business, your financial business, your where you work and your home,
Your location.
and your location and that. Young people
I'm on
love
holiday.
to do that.
I'm at the airport.
I am, All right. So we urge, not to do that. If you're going out, try not to meet people. We can't stop it. People meet people on social media and you want to meet up. So meeting a safe place, a crowded place. All right, get your own transport to take you and from to meet that individual, if that is the way that you want to go. All right, we can look at even all right, so we want you all to be safe. All right, parents, talk to your children
and be responsible in terms of how you
responsible into your friends and choose wisely. The decision going to meet someone. If you're going to party with somebody that you never met before, you drink, don't consume too much alcohol. That leaves you vulnerable to the unscrupulous persons on the outside.
Some other time we have to talk about, we spoke about it once before on the show, the social media meeting up, because you realize more and more these days, they're dating apps, they're all different types of things happening on social media that lure people into places that cause them to end up being in trouble. Right. And so we really have to pay attention to that. And what about in terms of, young people, they love to be on social media. No matter what you tell them, they're going to
They
find
love
a way,
to get
right?
out of
And
social media.
of course, the parents have a social responsibility in terms of ensuring this child or young person is protected. Um, how do we manage that now to ensure that they don't get carried away and give out their information? And
Communication with the parents, and parents talk teachers, show them that when you're on the social media, the do's and the don'ts, what can happen to you if you put your location, you give out your location of your home, you can be targeted. So it always will give your family, parents just continue to talk to the children, and adults do it as well. They post their their location. They do the same thing as a teenager. We just ask them to be careful of what you put out there.
I want to go back a little bit on the younger children. Let's say somebody who's not yet a teenager. In the communities, we have long ago, you could have just been outside playing, whether you have a community out by the village or wherever. Growing up, you could be outside till whatever time. But now you have to be so very cautious, and your child could only play within the confines of your compound, your area, where you have your fence and everything. They're safe there. And let's say, for instance, you take the children to the play park or they're somewhere in a public space. There are things that we can tell our children: don't talk to strangers. Somebody might want to give you a sweet candy or something and say, "Come with me." We need to have those types of conversations as well in terms of the T.T.P.S. and community policing. Do we have that type of arrangement where we speak to young people in terms of, listen, you don't do those things, the do's and don'ts, in terms of, especially in this vacation period where they have to go out?
Well, we have a demand program where the community police, the tourism-oriented police units, they go to the schools. So that is our target. So we target the children and telling them exactly what to do in terms of when you go out. If somebody approach you, you don't know them, don't take anything from them and stuff like that. So there are programs, and we do the lectures on it. So the T.T.P.S is working hard, and especially community police and the tourism oriented police, they are working very hard in with the school children, advising them the do's and the don'ts when you go out and on social media.
All right. So, Inspector, before we end this conversation, in terms of restoring confidence in the T.T.P.S, what is the one thing you'd like our viewers to know in terms of how you are working to ensure that the space in Tobago is safe for all of us, for our loved ones, our property, all that concerns us, and even for visitors coming in on the island?
Okay, so the T.T.P.S, the Tobago division, the T.T.P.S on whole, we have partnered with our stakeholders, and we want to urge everybody that how things looking now, it's not going to be this way. We are working very hard. We need the support. We need your support. We also ask, that if you see something, you say something, any information that you have that would be useful, just come to the police. You can utilize the station numbers, 555, even the 211 line, and give us the information. We are saying to each of you that we know that you feel that we are not doing enough, but we are working hard, extra hard, trying to rebuild the confidence of the public and to the T.T.P.S.
All right. Thank you so much, of course, for all of that information there, coming from Inspector Sherla Prince at the T.T.P.S. They're talking about all the things happening there, and of course, helping us with ensuring that we can curb crime on the island of Tobago. Remember, if you see something, say something before we go. I see there's a town meeting.
Yes,
There's a town.
there is a town meeting in the Sherburne district. It's going to be held this afternoon at 7 p.m. at the Bethesda Community Center. So we are asking the persons from Plymouth, Blackrock, and environs to come out and show the support. We want to hear from you whether your experience has been a good one. We want to hear from you whether your experience has been not so good. We still want to hear from you to make the T.T.P.S a better place.
Thank you so much, Inspector Sherla Prince from the T.T.P.S, bringing us information there as it relates to how they are going ahead managing crime on the island of Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we end the morning show, but it's not where we end our programming. We continue on with GMT, so stay with us. And as you stay with us, we invite you to help us. Share the light, share the light, share the light.